Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Interview with Mick. First off, the refreshments. They supplied me with moo milk, and I drank the moo milk, and I also had a canned soda, which was very good. Then I have my water bottle, so I'm gonna be drinking that because I did a workout and I got my carbs and my sugars in, and now I'm just gonna drink my water. So thank you for the refreshments. And without further ado, let's get into the podcast questions. So the podcast come from the viewers on Tuesday, March 20, Friday, March 22nd. And the podcast had some viewer questions that were very intriguing. So we're going to get into them. So I got 15 questions, and I'm just going to pick the questions and we're going to get into them. Question 1. What is your favorite sport? And then I got 3 questions here. What is your favorite sport? What is your favorite soccer memory? What is your favorite hockey memory? And what was your favorite sport growing up? And then so let's talk about sports a bit. So I started sports like the first sport I ever played was racing, like a foot race, and that happened in daycare. We lined up, and the teacher said go, and we tried to get to the fence. We were on grass, and we tried to get to the fence the fastest. And out of all the kids, I was very fast, but I was never the fastest. There was just one kid who beat me in the race, and he was my rival because we used to play soccer and video games and racing, and so he was very good at that. And then I got into organized soccer and hockey when I was like 6 years old. I got into skating and then hockey, and then I was the fastest and scored the most goals in house league. So I went up the next year to single A, which is minor hockey, like more competitive, where there's body checking allowed. And then I went into double A, and I got a lot of stories about that. And then soccer, didn't start playing soccer till I was later, because soccer, which would eventually become my favorite sport in university, is because I never knew the rules. And my dad sat me down in the kitchen and said the only rule is offside. And he tried to explain to me what is offside. But I was like, if the whistle is blown, I have no idea where we're kicking the ball, what's happening, what's going on. I don't know the rules. Yet somehow I knew the rules of hockey, which was even way more complicated than soccer, football. But I knew the rules of hockey, so I liked playing hockey, and I didn't know the rules of soccer. And growing up, I liked hockey more than soccer. But I played a lot of soccer. I played a ton of soccer. Throughout my entire life, I played a ton of soccer. And then what's your favorite soccer and hockey memory? I got a lot. Um, yeah, just participation and giving it your all. Um, you don't need the best equipment. You don't need the best training, whatever. Just go and play your best. And yeah. Okay, so let's get to the next question. When did you get into music? So I got into music. My parents bought a little keyboard thing, like a Casio keyboard, and I just started playing around with it. And then there was this like it would play the song for you, and there was a little digital. It was very old, but there was a small digital screen, and on the screen, while the song was playing, it would show you what keys are being played. There was also song notes, but we didn't know how to read the notes, so it would show you what keys were being pressed to go along with the song. And we learned to play a song like that just by remembering clicking play and remembering what buttons are being pressed. So then my parents said, okay, we're gonna get them lessons. And then I took piano for 8 years, and I didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed guitar a lot more. When I went to Serbia back home, my uncle had a guitar, and he told me how the guitar works. So there's a fret with notes that are semitones, and I said, okay, what's the name of this string? And he said, that's an E. So I went up 7 notes to a B, to an F sharp, to a G, and I played a song that I actually learned on saxophone in grade, what is it? When you're 12 years old. You know that grade when you're 12 years old? We were playing saxophones in school. So I was playing the saxophone and we played this song. And so I knew how to play that on piano as well. And then when I got the guitar, the first time ever, I played that song on one string. I went do 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 do. And then when I got back to Canada, we went to the store and my parents bought me a guitar. I remember that moment very fondly. That was the first time I ever got a guitar. And then I enrolled in lessons also at that store. And I only took lessons for 2 years, but everything I've learned came from that experience. And then guitar became my favorite because it was just so relaxing. Like, I played it so much because it's an acoustic guitar. You can pick it up and play it anywhere. You don't need to carry a big chunky piano around. You don't need to sit down and have proper posture, and then you got to get the notes and you got to play the notes. You just pick up and play whatever you want. You want to play a chord, you want to play a melody, you want to play a song, you want to sing to it, you can do whatever you want. It's like guitar, baby. It's just like that. It's just like that. So guitar became my favorite, and I would do a lot of improvising. There was like I had to read the book, but I only followed the book for 1 year. Then after that, we stopped doing the book. We just started doing Spanish improvisation, which is what I liked. So I would be in my room, and I would just play just whatever I think sounded good. Like, I'd find a rhythm, and you're practicing at that age. You're not a master. So you need to practice. And while I was practicing, I was just having fun with it and playing what I think I liked, what sounded, what music I liked. Just the notes, A, C, the chords and whatever. And that helped me get good. So that's the music and that's the sports. Now we got some more questions. Okay, what about this question? Who were your idols and present idols? I like the sports stars. Cristiano Ronaldo. And then the older hockey players, like, that aren't playing around anymore, I like them. They're all retired now. I was a lot younger back then. And like Tupac. Yeah. That's my musical affiliation. Yeah, and then when you're studying in school, like, let's go to another question. Why did you pick your university program and degree and whatever? When you're studying like these equations and shit like that in class, you always come across somebody's theory, and it's like, wow, the person's name is that theory. So it's like Lorenz's law, Maxwell's equations, Newton's law, Einstein's theory of relativity, Niels Bohr, atomic structure. All these scientists, Laplace's transform, the Fourier transform, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. There's so many. Uh, Euler's formula. Um, and it was really, that was inspiring because it was really complicated, and it was really cool how they donated so much to science and mathematics and engineering, chemistry, physics, mechanics, uh, quantum physics, uh, gravitational fields and theories and fundamental forces and nuclear energy. And you got all these theories, and all these scientists in the book, they thought of those and they got named after them, and we use their equations and theories and stuff like that. And why did I pick that program? It's because in high school I'm kind of a strange kid, because the way I structured my life was like, I just want to do what's the most difficult. I don't know why I was like that, but that's what I was like. I was like, I want to do what's the most difficult. So in high school, like, I like sports, I like music, I like drama, acting, and dancing and whatever, just the easy stuff. I like English, writing essays. I like computer programming. I was good at that too. But I didn't do any of that. I didn't go into that. What I took was like hardcore physics, advanced placement mathematics, English. But there was nobody that took all the sciences and all the maths. Like you need 6 courses, and then you get 2 free ones. I took all 8, and I took the hardest ones. I took like English, physics, biology, chemistry, maths, all of them. And I took the absolute hard, and I didn't get the best marks. I had like an 80%. And then I had extracurricular activities like soccer and hockey and piano and guitar. And because I didn't have the best marks, but I had the extracurricular activities, my application was accepted into the best university in Canada. And I got into one of the hardest programs. I didn't even pick into computer programming, at least, which is what I was very good at and what was very fun to me. Or music, or sports, or whatever. I went into engineering, which is like, I don't even know why. It's very difficult. But that's how I structure my life. And I was like, I got times when I'm going to relax and play sports. And then I'm going to just grind this difficult stuff. And I learned a lot from it. So I now learned how science works. I'm an engineer. So I know how the design procedure works, how the communication procedure works, sustainable energy, how that works, electrical energy, electrical principles. I know all that stuff, how that works. I know how math works. I learned it. It was very difficult. I know how calculating works. I can apply scientific mindset. And this was their general philosophy. Their general philosophy was not to teach you to be knowledgeable, but to teach you critical thinking. So, like, you would have at a different university, you would have like 2 questions on a small test, like a mini test. But at my university, they would do that about 5 questions, and you're not expected to answer them all, and the class average is designed to be 60%, and these are all students that had 90% in high school. But the average is designed to be 60%, and the tests are designed to be unbeatable. First of all, somebody does beat it, then you can go, oh wow, look how much he studied and how great he is. So one guy always does get 90%, whatever. But 60 is the average. And it's because you don't even learn solve all the answers, but you do part work and you do some you find out some answers and stuff like that, and you learn to deal with pressure. You learn to think quickly, and they just repeat that and attack you and bombard you with that principle and that system. And at the end of the day, you're like, oh wow, like what the hell, like I graduated with 60%. I didn't get all the answers correct on the test. But when you look back at it, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Now, when I come across a problem, even if I don't remember the formulas, I can easily apply my critical thinking and how I've been trained. And I can Google or look through a textbook and find out what formulas I need, how to apply them, and follow the correct problem solving method and the scientific procedure. And I can think for myself. That's what they trained you to do. You can think for yourself and apply, even though like on paper you didn't do squat, you got 60%, you didn't solve any answers, but you spent the time studying and doing the work on your own. So it's like it teaches you to think and get a higher level of critical understanding and thinking. That's what the point of that university was. But it was difficult. It was very difficult. Very, very difficult. Very difficult. Very difficult. Oh man, this is the most difficult thing I ever did. Like engineering. Oh my god. My god. And you're always getting 60%. You're like you're on the borderline of failing, So, but that's what I did. And at the same time, I played hockey and soccer in the school all the time, at the highest level of intramurals, physical contact and everything. Late at night, it's like 11 p.m. games, but it's fun. It's still fun. So that was that. And then high school experience, I covered that as well. What messages do you have to give to the younger generation? Um, I don't know. Like have fun, but also be serious and work at whatever being serious, and don't get upset if you don't end up doing something that is giving you pleasure in the long run, because you can always change. Like I changed doing 1,000 different things. Life is long. Just work, develop some skills so you can always come back to it and then grow as a person. So you may be skilled at one thing from a part-time job, from a degree, from a certification, from a license you received, from a part-time job you held, and then you go to work as something else, and then you can still go back to that other thing just in your general life because you have that skill, like a trade or something, I don't know, or a mindset, knowledge about something, and then you could keep up with those things, like in the news, the scholarly articles, or just just whatever's happening in that field that you were good at. Catalogs, magazines, whatever. So get good at things. Like I was a security guard. I was also a hockey skating instructor. And then I did software programming and development. Then I did electrical engineering. Then I did music. Then in high school I did biology and chemistry, so I know about those. Then I did sports. Right? So I have all these different things that I do, and that I keep up with them. And then I can get jobs anywhere I want. I could tutor math. I could teach guitar lessons. I could help with soccer coaching and youth coaching. I could try and get a career in engineering. I could get a development programmer as a computer programmer. I did stocks and finances as well, so I could run my own personal finances, investments, and I could maybe go into the world of finance and banking, right? So I got a lot of skills that I built up, and life is long, so I could transition between careers and stuff like that. And don't get too hard on yourself, because there's more important things also in life, like your health, your relationships, your family, your friends, and so just take it easy, have fun, work hard, and grow as a person. Learn, understand yourself, and work on yourself, like exercise and develop routines and habits, and take care of your health and your mental health, and organize your life, structure your life, and take care of your relationships and stuff like that. So yeah, just take it easy, and yeah, and reach out to people if you're struggling. Reach out to anybody you can if you have difficulties in your life. People will want to support you, so you don't spiral out of control. And yeah. What do I hope to achieve in the future? Um, just continue doing like what I'm good at: sports and music and science and math and stocks and finances, and calm down a little bit. Just focus on myself, grow more as a person, take care of my health, my mental health, my relationships, and yeah, just one step, one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. That's all it is. One day at a time, being better than I was the previous day. And if I have setbacks, within a couple of 2 or 3 days, to get back on my feet and to be even better than before. So just one day at a time. And then to give back to the people however I can, by giving my talents to the world and whatever. One day at a time. Um, what is my creative process like? I'm calm, and I'm experienced and wise. So, and I'm only creative in the fields that I understand. So, like if you ask me to do carpentry or some sort of plumbing or something like that, a trade, I can't be creative. But I know music, I know math, I know finance, I know sports, so I can be creative in these things, because they're like my hobbies for a very long time. I'm 32, turning 33. So I've been doing them since I was 8, 9 years old. So I spent a lot of time with them. And to be creative is just kind of following within the rules, but pushing them to the limits. So like when you make music, you got like a tempo, then you got a structure, then you got the 4/4, then you got 4 bars chorus, 4 bars verse, 4 bars whatever. And then I kind of play around within these rules. I say I got to make 4 bars intro or verse or whatever. But they don't have to be just repetitive. Within those 4 bars, I can make something melodic and a nice improvisation. And then I got that 4, and then I can repeat that. And then I can rhyme, but I don't have to stick to the beats. I can just kind of improvise there as well, but input that into the chorus and stuff like that. So you know the rules, what you gotta play within. When you're doing math, you can't just say 1 + 1 = 3. You gotta do 1 + 1 = 2. But you can say 1 + 1 = 2. Then you can go 2 × 5 = 10. Then you can go, that's one line. They can go another line saying 9, another line saying 5, and another line saying 20. Then you go 2 5s make 10, 2 10s make 20, whatever, you know? So, like, you have 20, 10, 5. And then, but you can't say, like, 2 10s make 25 or 2 10s make 30, you know? So you got to do the rules, but you can be pushing the limits of those rules. And that's what being creative is. It's got to make sense in the end. But the more you can push those boundaries and have control over them. So if you just start trying to play music really fast or playing sports really fast and you lose control of the ball, or you lose control of the notes you're trying to hit, you don't have control yet. You want to be creative, you want to push the limits, but you need to have control over it. Same when you're just doing science and whatever. You got to know the theories first and then apply creativity to those theories within the rules that you understand. And that takes experience and practice, and yeah. So that's all the questions. What do I like? Last question. What do I like or dislike about my current routine and career? So I like that I have freedom, so I kind of do whatever I want. I can take care of my own finances and shit like that. And I got freedom. I kind of like structure my own days and eat what I want, work out what I want, follow what I want on social media, on the sports, on the news, on the political news, in the gaming world, in the science world, in the sports world, in the stocks and finance and business news, what's going on, in the political spectrum, what's going on, like who's pushing for what sort of human rights and whatever, you know. So I can structure my own day where I can follow these things at my own free will and take naps when I need to and exercise when I need to and go out and get food when I need to and keep up with my doctor's appointments and stuff like that. What I dislike is the boredom. Sometimes I'm not working with anybody. I'm not partnering with other experts of the field or anybody at all. So I'm kind of doing it all by myself, and I get bored in my head a lot. So that sucks. And also my sleep sometimes is not, cuz my schedule is so tailored to whenever I want. My sleep is not always like structured. So sometimes I'm sleeping at night, sometimes I'm sleeping at day. I'll wake up at 5 a.m., miss the morning news, miss the morning trading hours. Sometimes I'll get there and then I'll miss the night sports games, you know. So it's, but I try and stay up to date of what happened during the morning and at night. And the fact that I'm not working with anybody currently, but my hope is these things will change in the future. So I'll develop a more routine pattern of sleeping, continue doing the things I want on my own schedule, and having the freedom and time to follow all these things I want to keep up with. And that'll eventually work with others together towards common goals in business and the real life world, you know. So that was that. Rate, like, share, subscribe. Tune in next week for episode 3 of the Mick podcast. And stay good. Tell a friend. I hope you listen to this on the subway or somewhere, anywhere you get your audiobooks from. And peace. Have fun.